episode.
And we brought donuts!
But we ate most of them already.
That one's for you.
Hey, welcome back to Thinking Out Loud. I'm Joel.
I am Brad.
Hello from Detroit. Today, it is 5-0. It is our 5-0. It's our 50th episode, and if you have hung with us for 50 episodes, you have won today. Here's a party hat. We've got 50 episodes of rambling, of
pure insights, gold,
of meandering, of self-indulgent, self-important,
audacious recommendations,
contemplation. Hey, so anyways, listen, you really do win a gold star today. So what we're going to do today, we can actually boil down the last 50 episodes into a few key insights that we're going to clip to. And so you've got a couple of favorites, I got a couple of favorites.
Yes.
So we're gonna throw some clips in here that where we thought we were actually particularly substantive and insightful.
Let's do it. You want to kick us off?
I will kick us off. One of my favorite things to do on here is the evaluate the campaign, where it's a brand that's got great product, great story, needs help in the telling it. And one of the better campaigns I ever saw, but also more painful because of their execution, was Intel's Meet the Maker campaign, where Intel had this incredible story to tell, and
nobody saw it.
They needed help. So take a look at it here. It's where we discuss Intel's Meet the Maker campaign. If we were running the campaign, here's what we would have done: is we would have had 5 influencers who know how to tell stories. Because this is the thing, this is a great story to tell. And Intel wanted to tell its own story, okay? Which they did it well, but the fundamental truth of the marketplace is Intel, not enough people cared about your story.
Right.
So have a storyteller who has an audience, is credible, have them tell your story, right? So
Incredible with a track record of views that you can depend on, right? We can look backwards and see they're getting 1 million views, 2 million views, 1.5 million views, consistently delivering on that 1 million views. I mean, Intel was fortunate in that one of those videos popped, whether it was from paid or just the fact that it popped.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's 1 of 5, and that you're leaving a lot to chance there.
Yeah.
All right, the next one we have for you, one of my personal favorites, is the day that we were audacious enough to tell the CMO what their role should be in an influencer marketing campaign. And really, this applies to anyone who's senior and running an influencer campaign. Yeah. So take a peek.
Take a look there.
The second element of running a successful influencer campaign, from my perspective, and I want to hear your thoughts on this.
I'll be happy to share them.
Is for the leader of the marketing team to get the heck out of the way.
Okay, why?
So what we see time and time again is that leaders will share what they want, and then the team will start to execute on a creative idea. And creativity, we all know, is not a linear process. And you'll start to get towards something that's pretty good, and then lo and behold, here comes the leader that parachutes in, and we'll talk about why they don't like X, Y, or Z. And so these creative ideas that are more like a grapevine that's starting to grow get snipped. And so what happens is you go back to saying, what's safe? What do we know will not get us fired? What do we know that the manager or the leader is going to approve? And you start to, like, historically when it came to IT consulting, no one gets fired for hiring IBM, so everyone hires IBM.
Right, so now your creative team is not tasked with actually being creative, but guessing what it is that you want and what you ultimately improve, which is toxic.
Very toxic, and it happens in nuanced ways all the time. So leaders, I implore you, let your team do their thing. That's the first thing I would say.
Okay, next up we've got one of my personal favorites, which is particularly relevant, which is how to transfer your TV budget to an influencer budget, because you cannot simply divert money from one to another without a mindset shift. Take a look and let us tell you what we think that mindset shift is.
When you are moving from TV to YouTube, you cannot be thinking in terms of TV. If you're thinking in terms of TV, you're just going to roll out a pre-roll campaign. So you're trying to do TV now on a different platform, and that's not going to be as effective as you'd like. And the reason why is that On TV, we're conditioned to leave during the commercial break to go to the bathrooms or to fast forward. Right. With pre-roll video, I mean, listen,
you can skip ahead.
You skip ahead or just zone out for 10 or 20 seconds.
The bigger picture is the thing that is pissing people off about TV and getting them to leave. Why would you want to repeat over here when they've already left that platform? We've got to do something different here.
Joel, what's the definition of insanity?
Trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Let's not do that. You're brand managers, you're incredibly intelligent people. So, okay, fantastic. A lot of good insights there when you're transitioning from TV
you were
to influencer.
Really insightful there, Brad. I'm still impressed.
If I do say so myself, it was a good day. It was a good day. A good day for you was when we also had a chance to talk about why agencies struggle with running influencer campaigns today. We're not talking about
that was entirely your idea and your execution. That was a great. Let's just keep going with the Brad highlight reel and let's take a look at that one.
We don't want to see the Brad highlight reel. No one wants to see the Brad highlight reel. But what we do want to know is why it is that traditional agencies, really struggle running influencer campaigns. Roll it.
So let's talk about the process. All right, let's say that you are. I am a large, nationally well-known insurance company.
Yes.
Car, life, house, right? All of those, there's like this great ad war happening between all of the big players,
For sure.
right? I mean, and they like to be fair, like it's actually, I think Progressive and Geico and Farmers and State Farm, like they've all developed like really very clever, very engaging ad campaigns,
No
right?
doubt about it.
So let's talk about somebody like them.
Without naming any names, right?
Well, I'm referencing the category, and we're maybe one of those, or maybe we're somebody different. But how does the process work? Like where does the idea start? Where does it go from there? Like let's dig into a little bit about how a typical process works, and then because I think we can put a fine point about why influencer is so radically different.
Agreed. And there's two places where the ideas are going to start. They're either going to start with a brand or they're going to start with the agency. And you and I were in a meeting, not in the insurance agency, but for a large industry. I don't even want to say the industry. A large industry that spends a ton of money annually in marketing. And we're meeting with the agency that represents this brand. And we have an influencer who's very big, very influential. We work with a ton, who is really passionate about this particular industry and this particular brand. Yep. And we volunteered to, at no cost, come up with creative ideas and bring them to the agency to be able to better represent the brand. And the agency said to us, no. And we want to be respectful of your time because the brand always wants to be the smartest person in the room.
Verbatim.
Yes. And the brand then comes up with the idea, works together with the agency, and the agency's role is to then put a little bit of structure around the idea, create an RFP.
Which is a request for proposal.
Thank you. And then put that out to different influencer agencies or really anyone who is involved in influencer who can then respond to this and then do it in a way such that it fits with the idea and the concept and generally speaking, the brand voice of of that particular brand. So now you're having influencers try to cram their thoughts and ideas into the creative that they didn't come up with and may or may not be a direct hit to their audience. And this is damning on so many different levels. It's damning on the industry because it shows a lack of willingness to change and pivot as the industry evolves. It's damning because you're not getting the best out of influencers, right? These are really smart people who have a tremendous relationship with their audience, and now we're asking them to fight with two arms tied behind their back and generally a leg as well because the smartest people in the room are developing that creative, and that's really terrible. And then third is we've now, as an agency, we'll say that we've tried influencer marketing and it didn't work, right. And then they're going to start to share that out at conferences or with brands or with other people that it didn't work, and it's like, no. It doesn't. It's actually very effective if you do it right and you invest the time, energy, and effort to develop relationships and let go a little bit. But if you're not willing to do that, it's going to be an epic fail. And so we see this as a general rule, and I couldn't even describe the process without getting on my soapbox first, But that is objectively the process and how it works.
Yeah. Okay, and last but certainly not least, and I'm not sure if we actually said anything substance into this at all, but it was surely a fun episode, which was Sonic and Ice-T, and we were evaluating their campaigns, and Ice-T, there was a ice statue of Ice-T holding a microphone and the first 100, whatever. It was a fascinating campaign. I have no idea whether it worked or not, but it sure was fun, and it was really fun
You
to
were
talk about.
insightful. You were insightful in this one. You need to just own that, Joel.
I don't recall, but I did like doing it, and that's what I remember, so take a look. This is interesting, and like this, of course, ties back into influencer marketing, is the folks from Sonic who are producing these commercials have said, we just kind of let them go. Like, we give them a huge range, they do what they want, they figure it out, and we capture them on camera, which is really fascinating because you've got these two comedians, and it's almost like Sonic is figuring out what makes influencer marketing effective. Really, in many ways, before there was such a thing as influencer marketing, as we know it today, and as we define it today. So they're maybe these guys are like two of really the original influencers because they're given broad range, do what they want, talk about the things that matter to them, be funny in their own way, and if it in any way, shape, or form tangentially or loosely ties back to one of Sonic's product, fine.
Fantastic.
But in some cases, well, that's okay too. Like if it doesn't at all, that's all right. It's a funny. It was a funny bit.
Exactly. They're still parked in front of Sonic, and they're at the drive-in, so it's all good. They're relatable and it's fun, and there's going to be the logo at the end, so people are happy.
Right.
Okay. Fantastic. Thanks for staying tuned to all those 5 clips. Obviously, we've got a lot more goodness on our channel. You guys know that. You've seen it. But we really, really appreciate you guys. Or if there's something that you want to see in the next 50 episodes, let us know. We've got a lot of great topics we're really excited about. One of the great things about influencers is the more you learn about it, the more you'll see that you don't know about it. So we're going to continue to break it down for you.
That's true for us. All right. Thanks again. So long from Detroit. We'll see you next time.